Kylian Mbappe set to break another record. Real Madrid are crumbling without Ronaldo. Paul Scholes lets rip on Jose Mourinho, and even with the transfer window shut, there's always some transfer talk. That and more coming up in the next few minutes, as I'm your host, Matt Froelich. You are the Onefootballers, and this is the Daily News. Up first, Kylian Mbappe could be breaking another record as he sets his sight on winning the Golden Boy Award for the second year in a row. If he wins it, he'll be the only player to ever win the award twice. It's basically given to the best young player in Europe, and this year he'll have to fight off the likes of Phil Foden, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Christian Pulisic, Vinicius Jr. and Justin Kluivert if he wants to win the coveted award. After last season's performance, he pretty much deserved it, but this year, he's even scored in a World Cup final, helping France to win the title in Russia, and won everything there is to win in French football for the second year in a row. So he's pretty much guaranteed to win. As for the legitimacy of the award, well, it comes from Italian newspaper Tuttosport, and whilst it's maybe not the biggest award to win and Mbappe may have his sights on the Ballon d'Or, it's still nice to be rewarded and known as the best young player in Europe. But away from Mbappe into one of the best players in the world, of course it's Cristiano Ronaldo, but how are his former club Real Madrid doing without him? Well, it seems the dressing room is split. Last night, after their 1-0 loss to CSKA Moscow in the Champions League, goalkeeper Keylor Navas admitted that Cristiano Ronaldo is missed at Real Madrid. He rather oddly used the analogy of saying you can't cover up the sun with one finger. I don't quite know what that means, but basically he's obviously head over heels in love with Ronaldo and misses him so much. But if you look at the other side of the dressing room, Nacho, the defender, says that Real Madrid have to learn to live without him and move on after Ronaldo's era, which to be honest sounds like a more plausible thing to do rather than just worry about missing him and holding your fingers up to the sun. As for his new club, well, it looks like they're not missing him either, as last night Paulo Dybala filled Ronaldo's boots by scoring 3 goals in their demolition of Young Boys. A hat-trick for the young Argentinian could see him thrusted into the limelight alongside Ronaldo and maybe even challenge Messi as one of the greatest Argentinians ever. And talking of Cristiano Ronaldo's former clubs, we can't not talk about Manchester United because let's face it, they're all over the newspapers with how terribly they've been doing recently. A 0-0 draw against Valencia last night confirmed that Jose Mourinho still has no idea what he's doing, Manchester United are pretty crap, Paul Pogba was trying his best, and Alexis Sanchez still definitely is not worth £500,000 a week. Straight up ridiculous. And now former Manchester United players are even getting on the act with abusing Jose Mourinho. Up from his comfy position in the commentary box, Paul Scholes has been letting rip on the Portuguese manager, saying he's an embarrassment to the club and he can't believe he survived this long. This may seem pretty harsh, but coming from a Manchester United legend, no one's really going to disagree with him. However, I'm sure Scholes would love to see Mourinho in the dugout at Salford City. And next up is the return of the transfer talk. That's right, even though the window is shut, there are still rumours circulating, and they're pretty much based around contracts that are expiring at the end of the season. Yesterday I spoke about Aaron Ramsey's contract expiring and he could be moving to Real Madrid. But today, Adrien Rabiot is also set to let his contract run down and is interested in a move to Spurs if reports are to be believed. They could open negotiations with the French midfielder as early as January. Elsewhere, Danny Welbeck could also let his contract run out at Arsenal. Daniele Rugani's contract talks with Juventus have stalled, meaning Chelsea could reignite their interest in him. And the little-known Ivory Coast winger by the name of Nicolas Pepe, who plays for Lille in France, is really turning heads after he scored 5 goals and matched 4 assists with that in just 8 opening games in Ligue 1. Sevilla, Arsenal and Everton have all taken interest in him. However, such is the inflation in today's footballing prices, by the time January comes around, he'll probably be worth around 50 million. And lastly, I couldn't help but throw in the most ridiculous story of the evening. Last night, before Aston Villa's 3-3 draw with Preston North End, under fire manager Steve Bruce was hit with a flying cabbage. That's right, last night a fan went to the store, bought a cabbage, brought it into the ground and then threw it in Steve Bruce's face. That is just absolutely comical. But what I want to know in the poll is, what would you throw in your manager's face if you were really pissed off? Would it be a cabbage? Would it be a pizza? Would it be some ice cream or something else? Let me know in the poll by clicking and voting. But from me, that's all we've got time for today. Make sure you click here to check out all the rest of the videos that we've got going on Onefootball in the upcoming days, weeks and months. That's all we've got time for though. Make sure you smash the like button down below as well and leave a comment on all of today's daily news. But until next time, I'll see you guys later. Tequila, Steve's Bruce. That's what happens when you have 2 first names for a name.